Welcome to the Annie Jennings PR Real Stories of Success podcast series. Annie Jennings is the creator of the most powerful radio campaign in the country, where you are booked on high-impact shows in top markets, as well as her famous pay-for-placement national TV, print, and online media program, where Annie offers guaranteed deliverables. My name is Stacey Amaral Kaufman, and I'm the radio director for Annie Jennings. We are sharing another story of success to give listeners an inside look into what it's like to work with Annie Jennings PR. And today we're talking with Vietnam veteran and retired attorney Howard L. Hibbard, author of Curse of the Coloring Book, a novel inspired by his own true story of combat and PTSD. And along with Howard is Jenifer Behling of GhostDog Enterprises, the publisher of Curse of the Coloring Book. And through Annie Jennings PR, Howard was heard on over 550 stations during his top market 18-interview radio campaign. He was featured on major media brands such as Fox News Radio, Westwood One, CBS Radio, iHeartMedia, among many others, not to mention top national hosts, including Gordon Deal and Lars Larson. So now Howard is able to leverage all of this in his continued marketing strategy and outreach. So I'd like to welcome both Howard and Jenifer. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Stacey.
So why did you guys decide to work specifically with Annie Jennings PR?
Well, I decided to gear up for an immediate all-out marketing campaign the last quarter of the year for our novel, Curse of the Coloring Book, because I wanted to take advantage of Veterans Day, which is topical to our novel related to veterans issues. It was a natural tie-in, and I thought it would get people's attention. The marketing person I worked with for an online review campaign understood my goal and asked if I considered radio, which I had never thought of and thought would be unattainable, and she suggested Annie Jennings PR as an expert in just doing radio campaigns.
And when you spoke with Annie initially, Jenifer, what feeling did you get from her? What was it that, let's say, what was kind of like the clincher for you when you spoke with her to say, yeah, I definitely want to work with Annie?
First of all, she was so nice and very personable. She focused in immediately listening to the quality of Howard Hibbard's speaking, his pacing, and actually a slight little stutter, and evaluated it. It really just took Howard slowing down to remove the stutter, and I could just immediately see that we were working with a real professional. And she explained to me how the PR would work, that it's not just coming to pitch out our book, but that it's taking a PR approach where it's more philanthropic oriented. It's delivering messages about veteran issues and how to support veterans, and then slipping in Curse of the Coloring Book.
Now, one of the perks of radio, and I think you even just did it right there, Jenifer, is unlimited media training, where you are trained and coached up on how to be promotional without being promotional, on all of these wonderful things, and it's available to you all the time throughout the duration of your radio campaign. So, Howard, how did you think that helped you?
Well, Jason was able to give me a radio perspective on how I needed to conduct myself to advance my message forward. Now, my background for over 30 years was as a litigation attorney, so that prepared me for public speaking. But radio is a different forum, and Jason was able to corral me into his world so I could be more effective.
What was it like working with our radio team on a day-to-day basis?
They were great. They were completely organized. Everything came off almost exactly on the time frame that was set forth. All our perspectives that we want to try and bring out about the book and about the movement that we're starting, we're all there, and it just flowed almost seamlessly.
I'd like to add to that and say Annie Jennings' staff is wonderful. They are top-rate professionals. They're courteous. They're kind, they're helpful, they're organized. Stacy is always precise and on time, delivering the radio schedules for the interviews. They really practice PR themselves.
Oh, thanks, guys. We appreciate it. You guys are excellent clients to work with also, and that is that means a lot to us, too, at Annie Jennings. So now what would you say would have been the best thing about your experience overall?
Well, I would say the best that came out of it was that Annie Jennings PR really helped us up our game, helped Howard focus in on how he could craft a message, how to do it in a short period of time, how to segue into mentioning his book. Annie Jennings really prepared us to become better professionals, be more confident, and give us energy, and boy, gave us a lot of fun. It just was an exhilarating experience. And that energy is then feeding into everything else that we're doing on our marketing campaign for Curse of the Coloring Book.
And what would you say to others that might be thinking of working with Annie?
Do it. It's, it was a leap of faith. We had never thought of a radio campaign, but it just sort of made sense, and we were really wanting to take advantage of Veterans Day. We had a message that tied in, and it was just a remarkable experience. If it's not just about selling your product and service, it's about developing your branding messages. The experience is really outstanding, and both Howard and I can't say enough. What do you think, Howard?
Well, I have to agree that if you've never engaged in marketing using a mass media, that Annie Jennings is the perfect first step. It really gives you a perspective about what they're looking for and what you're looking for, and making those goals attainable for both parties.
All right, our listeners can learn much more about Howard L. Hibbard and his book, Curse of the Coloring Book, on his website, which also has some fabulous recipes. So you have to take a look at it. It's howardlhibbard.com. Don't forget the L. Howard L. Hibbard, that's HIBBARD.com. So thank you guys for joining us today. Really appreciate it.